Hello everyone. Today we will be discussing about a very important period in all of our lives, that is adolescence. Adolescence is a period in life between childhood and adulthood. It is a period of significant growth and development across all spheres of life, which ensures that we grow from being children to fully mature and functioning adults. There are multiple milestones and developmental changes that we go through during the stage of puberty. Here, let's first look at all the physical aspects of the changes that we undergo during puberty. During puberty, our body undergoes a lot of changes, primarily because of changes in hormones. Hormones are nothing but chemical messengers which are in our body, and they are responsible for causing certain effects. There are multiple types of hormones, but the hormones which are primarily responsible for puberty are the hormones which are produced from the brain and the reproductive organs, which are testes in males and ovaries in the females. At the onset of puberty, initially the hypothalamus produces the gonadotropin releasing hormone, which stimulates the pituitary gland to produce hormones known as gonadotropins. Gonadotropins are of two kinds, namely the follicle stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone. These hormones in turn stimulate the reproductive organs, which are the testes in males and ovaries in females. Once the gonads are being stimulated, they start producing the reproductive cells, which is sperms and eggs. Along with that, testes and ovary also produce a lot of hormones. The male hormone or androgen, which is mainly testosterone, is produced in the testicles, and this starts during puberty in boys. While in women or females, the ovaries also begin to produce two hormones known as estrogen and progesterone. These are responsible for the most distinct changes which we can physically observe in the body. Let's take a look at the physical changes which are most prominently observed in boys and girls during puberty. As the pituitary hormones begin to stimulate the testicles, in males, the hormone of testosterone begins to be produced. Now this leads to sperm production, a process known as spermatogenesis, and apart from that, it also leads to a bunch of other noticeable physical changes. The most obvious being a growth spurt or a rapid increase in height. There is also building of muscle mass, and there is broadening of shoulders, and the most obvious deepening of voice. Apart from this, we can also notice that there is growth of facial hair and hair on other parts of the body, like the chest, underarms, and the genital areas. During puberty, there is growth in the male genital organs, which is a main milestone that is achieved during this time. In women, the hormones that are produced by the pituitary leads to the beginning or the onset of the menstrual cycle. The first menstrual cycle or the first period is known as menarche or menarche. This is an event which occurs every month roughly, and it includes cyclic changes that happen in the ovaries and in the uterus. It involves maturing of an ovum and its release known as ovulation, and the preparation of the uterus for the possible chance of pregnancy. What happens is that the uterine lining thickens, and in an event that there is no fertilization, this lining of the uterus that has been thickened is shed in the form of a menstrual period. The first menarche is the most marked change for the onset of puberty in girls. Apart from this, there is a growth spurt that is observed in girls as well. There is fat distribution that happens typically in the hip region, and we can notice the development of breasts. Apart from this, we also notice that there is hair growth in the underarms and the pubic areas. A common symptom of puberty in boys and girls includes growth spurt. This growth spurt is due to the action of the hormones which cause puberty and an additional hormone known as the growth hormone. Apart from this, another common observation in boys and girls is that increased oil production or sebum production on the skin. This could lead to the skin looking extremely oily, and also it could cause a lot of breakouts or pimples. Teenage acne is something which is pretty common among all boys and girls. Due to earlier onset of puberty in girls, it's often observed that between the ages of 11 to around 12 or 13, often girls are taller than boys who hit puberty later on during their teen years. After this, it is usually observed that boys grow taller than girls. Due to the multiple external and physiological changes that happen during puberty, teens have a hard time in accepting their body and making sense of all the changes that they are going through very rapidly. A lot of times, teenagers struggle with body image issues. They are not able to accept the way they look. It could be due to the oily skin, the acne, or the weight that they are putting on suddenly in new areas. The fact that they are surrounded by other people and constant social comparisons could put more pressure on them and could make them want to look in a certain ideal way. Now this could lead to a lot of self-esteem issues. They may not feel confident in appearing as they are. It could be due to pimples or oily skin, or they could be awkward due to their cracking voice, or they could feel awkward because the way that the society is perceiving them is slowly changing. In women, eating disorders are more prevalent than men. Eating disorders such as bulimia and anorexia are most common. This deals with abnormal eating patterns, especially because they are not happy with the way they look. Anorexia is a serious eating disorder in which the person believes that they are fat and stops eating to a great extreme. Because of this, there is severe weight loss, and in spite of this, they feel that they are fat and that they need to lose further weight. Bulimia, on the other hand, is another type of eating disorder where there are cycles of binge eating followed by purging. The individual may consume a lot of unhealthy food or just food in large amounts, and then they are followed by forceful purging using laxatives or other medications because they feel guilty for eating this. Both of this is extremely unhealthy and needs to be checked in time. The time when an individual hits puberty is typically assumed to be during their teen years. However, this is something that can be variable from person to person. It could depend on a lot of factors like genetics, diet, exercise, lifestyle, and other factors. The onset of puberty is usually earlier in women or girls when compared to boys. Let's take a look at a few other factors which determine and affect puberty and its onset. The first being genetics. Genetics is something which is passed on to us from our parents, and it is a very important factor when it comes to all the processes in our body. The age at which we attain puberty, our height, certain other symptoms that we may experience during puberty may be largely determined by the genes. Another important factor is diet. Diet is something which is very, very important Because there is a growth spurt during puberty, it is essential that teenagers receive a balanced diet and all their nutritional needs are fulfilled. Especially for girls, it is very common for them to have iron deficiencies after they start their menstrual cycles. It is particularly important to give calcium and iron supplements to make sure that their growth needs are appropriately met. Exercise is also very important, and it is required for them to remain healthy and make sure that they attain their optimum height, and it prevents obesity, which could lead to further health complications in future. Sleep is something which is very crucial but often neglected. Teenage also is the age when they are in the peak of their schooling and education. Often teenagers do not sleep and they prefer staying up late at night due to work, entertainment or other reasons. It has been observed that sleep quality and duration is very important to maintain overall health, and it also has a correlation with the onset of puberty in both girls and boys, although the correlation seems a bit more in girls. Lifestyle is also very important. It is important that teens realize that they need to maintain an overall healthy lifestyle. They need to have healthy behaviors and avoid substance use, which could become addictive and lead to a lot of problems in future. They also need to be aware and take precautions when it comes to a lot of sexually transmitted diseases, as these are also serious health hazards observed in teens. It has been observed that in recent times, the age or the onset of puberty has become at a much younger age than it was previously. This is mainly attributed to the improvement of the diet and nutrition, with the nutritional needs of children being met in a better way, and to the lifestyle that they follow. This is a trend that is seen globally, and it is leading to attainment of puberty much earlier than previously. Since we have seen that puberty and adolescence encompasses such a lot of changes in the body, it is natural for teens to feel curious and want to know about what exactly is happening and why it is happening with them. It's very crucial that they gain this knowledge from legitimate sources and they are made aware of things which are factually accurate. If not, it can lead to teens leading to inappropriate sources to gain information, and this could lead to further problems. It is important that we talk about the changes that they undergo and normalize such discussions with the teens. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this was helpful and informative. Relevant articles and research papers which were referred to make this video are listed in the description. You could find them. It would be a great help if you could interact with this video by liking, sharing and commenting and showing your support. Thank you so much, and I really hope this helps.